What's up, football fanatics, and welcome to episode number 3 of the Club World Cup Wrap, proudly brought to you by VAR and Vibes. The FIFA Club World Cup 2025 marathon continues, and we're here to break down more thrilling matchups as new groups get underway and contenders lay down their markers. This episode focuses on the action from groups E and F. We've got tough tactical battles, drama, and some of the biggest names in club football making their tournament debuts. So let's dive straight into the action, starting with a clash in Group F. Kicking off our episode 3 coverage, we had a fascinating tactical clash in Group F as Fluminense from Brazil faced Borussia Dortmund from Germany. This was flagged early as a potential first upset of the tournament, with Fluminense looking to change the trend of favorites winning. From the outset, Fluminense were on top, with their effective pressing causing Dortmund to rush their play. Flu were the much more cultured team this first half, always looking to play their way out of trouble, making it one-way traffic in their favor. They even had 4 shots to Dortmund's 1, 27 minutes in. Individual brilliance shone through for Flu, with Thiago Silva looking like an ageless wonder and John Arias having a particularly good game. Despite all their dominance and better optics, Fluminense just couldn't find a way to go ahead. It was 0-0 at halftime, leaving Dortmund with the thought that they could only be better in the second half. Dortmund were certainly riding their luck as Kobel was called into action for a crucial double save in the 69th minute to keep it scoreless. The second half also saw a significant debut, with Bellingham coming on as a substitute for BVB. Fluminense remained the better team eye test-wise, even with 5 minutes left, but the game ultimately ended 0-0 at full time. A frustrating result for Flu, given their clear superiority, but a hard-earned point for Dortmund. Kicking off the action in Group E, we had a fascinating cross-continental clash as Argentine powerhouse River Plate took on Japan's Urawa Reds. This match brought with it some intriguing storylines, particularly around one young talent. Let's talk about Franco Mastantuono playing for River Plate at this tournament. This 17-year-old prodigy is set to join Real Madrid, so it's going to be incredibly interesting to see how he handles this world stage and if perhaps he even plays his future team later in the tournament. While he might carry the new Messi label, in playstyle he's actually nothing like Messi, but almost a mirror of Juan Roland Riquelme. He's not the fastest and can be quite languid, but the ball truly sticks to him like superglue, and to understand Mastantuono's impact, we need to talk tactics. Specifically, the mastermind behind River Plate, Marcelo Gallardo, one of South America's sharpest footballing minds. His teams are built on intensity and intelligence. Gallardo doesn't believe in fixed formations. He'll switch between a back three or a diamond midfield mid-match without blinking. Offensively, it's all about verticality. Gallardo doesn't waste time with slow build-up. He wants quick transitions, diagonal balls, and fullbacks bombing forward. Defensively, his teams are tight, compact, and aggressive. They press when it matters, and when they sit deep and smart. What truly makes him dangerous is his ability to adapt in real time. He doesn't press instantly all over the pitch like a Klopp team would, but he uses pressing triggers after which the press can intensify depending on the context. He can lull you into a sense of security and slow the game down, but then he can spring into the final third at a rapid rate. Gallardo isn't just a coach. He's a chess player with 11 pieces, and every one of them knows exactly what to do. Back to our prodigy, Mastantuono fits Gallardo's system like a glove. He's the metronome of the system. He likes to start an action or play on the right and drift into the center to take up the number 10 position, a classic example of a false or inverted winger. He plays between the lines, receives on the half-turn, and drives forward. Exactly what Gallardo demands from his creative engine, the number 10 pulling strings behind the strikers. But Gallardo would also trust him to drift wide, press high, and lead transitions. He's not just flair, he works. Gallardo wants warriors with brains, and Mastantuono is showing both. Ball security, decision-making, and serious composure under pressure. This also means he could transition seamlessly into Xabi Alonso's new Real Madrid system, taking up a right-sided number 10 position. The match itself started with River Plate looking comfortable on the ball for long periods, maintaining over double the amount of passes compared to Urawa by the 38th minute. When off the ball, they were quick to cut passing lanes to limit the opposition's options. Urawa Reds, early on, were very cautious, not committing many forwards in attack and showing no adventure whatsoever, even 6 minutes in. In the 8th minute, Driussi snapped off a shot that smacked the post. River Plate got the breakthrough in the 12th minute, making it 1-0. The goal was initiated by Franco Mastantuono in the midfield, who sprayed a great ball out to the left for Acuna to cross, leading to a Facundo Colidio header. In the 24th minute, Matsuo had a big one-on-one chance with River keeper Armani, but it was correctly called offside. Urawa even had a goal disallowed for offside in the 32nd minute. Despite River's dominance, it was only 1-0 at halftime. The second half started dramatically. In the 48th minute, Driussi scored to make it 2-0 for River Plate, but he unfortunately got injured in the process and was replaced by Miguel Borja. However, Urawa weren't out of it. They started flooding their play with mistakes after a less than stellar start to the second half, but then in the 55th minute, they made a foray into the box. A foul by Acuna led to a penalty being given to Urawa, their first penalty of the season. Despite playing half their domestic season, Matsuo stepped up and confidently scored it, making it 2-1. The flow and momentum of the game clearly switched following the penalty, with Urawa now on top. Their manager, Polish coach Maciej Skorża, is heavily linked with the vacant Polish national team job. The Urawa fans also deserve a mention, as they did not stop singing all game, proving to be among the best fans at the tournament so far. However, River Plate soon reasserted their dominance. In the 73rd minute, a header from a corner by substitute Maxi Meza, an easy finish, made it 3-1 to River. Urawa had gone to zonal marking on the corner, and it cost them. This goal looked like game over now, as it was likely too much for Urawa to come back from, especially having conceded against the run of play. The game concluded with River Plate securing a 3-1 victory. We're back in Group F, following a quick detour to Group E earlier in the day, and this second Group F fixture saw Ulsan Hyundai take on Mamelodi Sundowns in a tight discipline contest that ended 1-0 to the South African champions. Kickoff was delayed due to a thunderstorm, adding tension before a ball was even kicked. But when the match finally got underway, Sundowns settled faster. They struck in the 36th minute with Ikram Rayners pouncing on a defensive lapse to score what turned out to be the winning goal. From there, Sundowns showed maturity and control. They kept Ulsan at arm's length, defended in numbers, and managed the tempo with confidence. This game also made history. It saw the first ever enforcement of FIFA's new 8-second goalkeeper rule. Ulsan's keeper held the ball beyond the permitted time after a gather, resulting in a corner kick awarded to Sundowns. It didn't lead to a goal, but it marked a turning point for how time management will be policed across the tournament. With this win, Sundowns now have a fair shot at progressing from Group F, especially with Dortmund and Fluminense only taking a point each. Tactical awareness, sharp finishing, and historic discipline. A huge day for the South African side. We head back to Group E for a clash between Mexican giants Monterrey and European heavyweights Inter. And in the end, both sides had to settle for a 1-1 draw in a game that swung back and forth. The shot came early when Sergio Ramos, making a surprise appearance in the Monterrey starting 11, rose highest to head home the opener in the 25th minute. Inter were caught flat-footed from the set piece, and Monterrey made them pay. But Inter found their rhythm toward the end of the first half. After a sustained spell of possession, Lautaro Martinez finished clinically in the 42nd minute to bring them level, showcasing the sharpness you expect from a player of his caliber. The second half was cagey, but intense. Monterrey arguably looked the brighter of the two sides, particularly in the final 20 minutes, where they pressed higher and controlled large spells of midfield play. Inter, meanwhile, began to look heavy-legged and struggled to create much from open play. In the bigger picture of Group E, the draw means River Plate stay top for now, with Monterrey and Inter both taking a point from what could end up being a decisive matchup in the race to qualify. Monterrey may feel its 2 points dropped, while Inter will quietly take the result and move forward. Let's take a quick look at how things stand in Groups E and F after the latest round of fixtures. And already, patterns are starting to emerge. Group E, River Plate sit at the top after that thrilling 3-1 win over Urawa Reds. It puts them in the driver's seat early, especially with Monterrey and Inter canceling each other out in a 1-1 draw. That leaves both clubs on 1 point, with Urawa bottom and already under pressure to get something from their next game. It's shaping up to be a 3-way battle for 2 spots, and River have already thrown the first punch. Over in Group F, it's Mamelodi Sundowns who've made history and made a statement. Their 1-0 win over Ulsan, complete with the first ever enforcement of FIFA's new 8-second goalkeeper rule, puts them top on 3 points. Dortmund and Fluminense played out a goalless draw, leaving both sides level but in need of a win in their next fixture. Ulsan, now bottom, will be desperate to bounce back or risk crashing out early. This group still feels wide open, but Sundowns have taken early control. The global football fiesta keeps rolling. Get ready for episode 4. which promises even more blockbuster matchups as some of the biggest names in football finally take to the pitch for their tournament debuts. Manchester City versus Wydad Casablanca, Real Madrid versus Al Hilal, Pachuca versus Red Bull Salzburg, and Al Ain versus Juve. Make sure you're subscribed to VAR and Vibes and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single episode of the Club World Cup Wrap. Until next time, keep that football passion burning bright.